Do you have naturally curly hair? When you wear your curly hair naturally, does it ride that fine line between beautiful messy waves and scary sea witch? Are you dealing with crispy or frizzy or uncontrollable curls and you just are about ready to chop all of your hair off? Well, you came to the right place. Welcome back to the Fit Curls Lovelies. My name is Angela, and today we are going to start your natural hair journey off on the right foot. Today we're going to be talking about hair type and how to identify what type of hair you have. And we're going to be talking about 3 distinct properties of your hair that are going to be very important for you to know in order to take care of your natural curls to the best of your ability. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's talk texture. Your hair's texture refers to the individual thickness and feel of each strand of hair on your head. This runs on a spectrum from fine all the way to coarse. Now, if you have fine hair, that individual strand of hair on your head is going to be very, very slim, silky smooth. If you look at an individual strand of fine textured hair, you're barely going to be able to see it up against the light. Now, all the way over on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have coarse textured hair, which is going to be a relatively thick, pretty texturized strand of hair. So it's not going to be super silky smooth, and you'll be able to see it much more clearly if held up against the light. There's obviously a whole spectrum of textures in the middle there, which we tend to kind of lump together under the term medium textured hair. So it's not super coarse, it's not super silky fine. Now, how do you figure out which hair texture you have? Very simple. Take one strand of hair off of your head, literally just pick out one nice smooth strand, maybe even pull one off of a brush, and you're gonna take that in between your fingers and just give it a little rub like so. If you have fine textured hair, you're not going to feel a thing. It's just gonna feel like rubbing your fingers together. No difference whether the hair is there or not. Medium textured hair, you're gonna feel the presence of that strand rolling back and forth between your hands, but there's not gonna be any noticeable lumps or bumps to it. With coarse hair, you're gonna really feel that strand of hair in between those fingers and feel a little bit of roughness along the outside. Once you know whether you have fine, medium, or coarse textured hair, that's going to inform what kind of products are going to work best in your curls. If you have super coarse hair, you're most likely going to be able to tolerate thicker, creamier products with lots of butters, and you may even need that in order to provide your curls the moisture that they need. On the fine textured spectrum though, too heavy of a product is just going to weigh that hair down and take out any and all volume that you naturally have, which, depending on how much hair you have on your head, might not be a whole lot to begin with. So depending on where you fall on the spectrum, you'll need lighter or heavier products in order to preserve volume and gain that definition that we're all looking for. Now that we've determined your hair's texture, let's talk porosity. The porosity of your hair refers to the health and strength of the cuticle, which is the outer layer of that individual strand of hair. Porosity is graded on a scale from 1 at the lowest to 5 at the highest end of the spectrum. Moving higher up on that number scale means that more damage has been done to the cuticle of your hair. Down at the low end, a grade 1 or 2, very little damage has been done to the cuticle of your hair, so it's extremely strong and healthy with very few holes or pieces missing. Moving up to a grade 3, it's starting to sustain a little bit more damage. Maybe you color treat your hair, maybe you heat style it a little bit too often, so the cuticle starts to get a little bit rougher. Moving up to a grade 4, chances are you lighten your hair or you heat style really regularly. That cuticle is starting to wear off more and more. It's sustainable, but you need to start taking some countermeasures like protein treatments or bond builders like Olaplex. All the way up to a grade 5 is when things get scary. You hit a grade 5, your hair is going to be snapping off like an old rubber band. Not cute. But before you can fix your hair's cuticle and reduce the amount of porosity in your hair, you have to identify where you are now. In order to test your hair's porosity, don't bother going to get a glass of water and a strand of hair. That particular variety of porosity test is pretty misleading. So the best thing to do instead is take that same individual strand of hair that you use to test your hair's texture, and you're going to, instead of rubbing it like this, you're actually going to run your fingers up the cuticle of your hair, just up that individual strand. If you feel any bumping as you go along, that's porosity in your hair. Those are pores in that cuticle. So the fewer bumps, the lower the porosity. So you know your hair texture and your hair's porosity. Now for the pièce de résistance, identifying your curl type. Now curl types are divided into 4 distinct groups. 1, straight hair, aka no curl. 2, wavy hair. 3, curly hair, those spiral ringlets. And 4, kinks and coils. Within each number, there are 3 distinct subdivisions, A through C. A is going to be the widest variety of that curl pattern, the greatest diameter, with C being the smallest diameter of that particular curl type. Now, multiple of these patterns can exist on one person's head all at the same time. For example, I have some portions of my hair, particularly on the underneath side, that are closer to a 2B, 2C wave, whereas some of these curls on the front have managed to get themselves all the way to a 3B, nice tight curls. As your hair gets healthier, your curl pattern will start to become more and more apparent. Now do me a favor. Now that you know all of this about your hair, stop comparing your curl type to what you perceive as the ideal curl type. What your hair does now is beautiful. Learn to embrace what textures live on your head, and the more you embrace them, the more fun you can have with them. Once you've figured out your hair type, drop it down below in the comments. Let me know what type of hair you have. The more I know about our curly community here on YouTube, the better I can serve you. And that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you leave, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell down below so you don't miss a single video that we have coming, because more steps on your natural hair journey are coming up very soon. See you next time on the Fit Curls. Bye! Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to the... No, oh my God, that sounded terrifying. What? Let me flip the hairs and give myself confidence. Why do I look so pale? Before you leave, please... Oh my God. Oh no, where's the remote? Found it.